So there's a miracle version of Christianity. I call that there's two versions that I grew up with, right? And it was very confusing because some people would mix them up, and then I'd be like, it's love, it's hate, it's love, it's hate. So what is this? It's Christ, it's Constantine, it's Christ, it's Constantine. It was so confusing because they would call it a religion of love. And then when this guy told me, well, Constantine killed his wife, he killed his son, he killed countless people in war, he killed, and he was like the Hitler of his time. He was the one who paid for the first Bibles and the first churches and the first preachers. So do you think he had a bit of an influence on that? There's an expression in Costa Rica, que paga manda, which means the person who pays leads. And I
Mm-hmm.
think he had a bit of a say on some of the lines in the Bible. So anything hateful, anything violent, anything sexist, anything racist, anything ageist, anything
Mm-hmm.
homophobic, all of that comes right from Constantine, I believe. I don't think
Mm-hmm.
that's believed divinely inspired by a loving God. Are you kidding? Like, no.
Mm-hmm.
So this
Mm-hmm.
is the shadow side of Christianity came from Constantine, and he was like Hitler. So one day he said that before a war, before a battle, he saw a vision. You know what the vision was?
No.
Cross. He said he saw a
Okay.
vision of a cross. This is around 325 AD-ish.
Mm-hmm.
And then he heard a voice. And that voice that he apparently heard changed the world, changed your life, and changed my life. Do you know what
Mm.
the voice said three words apparently. Do you know what those three words were?
No.
They were not love your neighbor. They were not Jesus loves you. They were not
Okay.
save the world and none of that. This is
Okay.
Constantine. This is the father of Christianity. He said he saw a vision of a cross and he heard a voice say, conquer with this.
Mm.
And he realized that he could use Christianity and there's some beautiful things in Christianity, but he realized he could warp it and twist
Mm-hmm.
it
Mm-hmm.
so that he could use it as a weapon of war because
Mm-hmm.
psychological weapons are so much more powerful than physical weapons. If you
Mm. Oh,
can
yes.
steal someone's self-esteem, if you can
Right.
steal someone's sense of self-love, if you can
Right.
steal someone's sense of connection to other people on the planet, if you
Mm-hmm.
can steal all of those things,
Mm-hmm.
you can control them really, really
Right.
easily. And you can
Right.
send them off to war and you can make them fight for you and you can make them
Right.
lie for you and
Mm-hmm.
you can make them pay you taxes, you can make them do all
Yeah.
kinds of things because they hate themselves.
Right.
So that was his version of Christianity. And so that's why there's this weird mix of love and hate in Christianity, and anything that's hateful, Constantine.
Mm.
Constantine. I hope,
Mm.
I don't know if the stories about Christ are true. I hope so.
Mm-hmm.
The beautiful stories, the loving miracle stories, the healing the sick and the
Mm-hmm.
blind, I believe that's possible. Anybody
Mm-hmm.
who's spiritually connected can learn to heal sick and blind people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's possible. It's
Right.
totally possible. There's a lot of things you can do with your energy to help people
Right.
heal.
Right.
Awesome. So maybe there was some guy called Jesus who, healed people and walked on water or something.
There is.
Cool. I hope so. I hope
Yeah.
so. I don't know. The historians debate about it. And,
Yeah.
if someone wants to believe in a loving Christianity, I totally support that. If
Right.
somebody wants to use a religion to hate on people,
Yeah.
I'm like, you need a new religion, honey.
Right. I don't agree with that. But for any religion, whether it's Muslim or anything like that, when you hate people, when you don't seek any kind of intrinsic worth in them that you can help them bring out, you know, they're already down. Don't push them further down. Help them to get up, you know. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm a Christian. I know who I was before and I know how my life has changed. And I see people when they suffer and they need to hear the truth, but they're not hearing it. They are being they are being in bondage and oppressed and suppressed, because of being blinded by the truth of who they are and who Christ is, and I try to intervene and solve that problem. And we need people who can stand on the truth and love people, seek their well-being, add
Yes.
value to them, do no harm, and protect their integrity.
Yes. And
That
I love the
that's
fact that you said you were LGBTQ friendly because that
yeah.
really meant a lot.
I mean, so this is in my class, in my MFT class, I have to study this. I have to write papers on this, on LGBT, I have to study that. And one of the things that
Oh,
I
this is the
came
marriage
to,
and family counseling class? Or what?
yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
is that one of the things they struggle with is that those who have that sexual orientation, unique sexual orientation, they struggle with it. And
Yes, yeah.
they're afraid to come out and express that. So they go through this journey, they harbor this within themselves. And in one of the papers that I wrote, one thing that one of them said, an interview to one of them is that, look, our sexual orientation is just one part of our identity. There's so many other parts of our identity. We can't be defined, our whole life, our personhood can be defined by our sexual orientation. And that's very powerful because that is true for them. That is true for everybody else. You and I, we have different parts that make us up as a person. If somebody focuses on one part of us, that they don't like and define us by that part, we're not going to be happy about that. You agree with me?
Yeah, I think
Because for
yeah,
somebody
it's
for somebody to
important.
just
It's
say, okay, I don't like this part about this person, and that's the person that what judging a book by its cover. That's
yeah.
that's 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 what I mean essentially.
Yeah,
So
nobody likes discrimination and nobody likes
no,
abuse
no,
or
no, no. And
bullying.
and and
Yeah.
and God, the Bible did not preach that. The Bible preached, the Bible always remember, you always saying to remember who you are, remember how you are saved. Be kind to others, just as God in Christ have been kind to you. Don't forget that. So people misinterpret, they misapply, and the further you get away from the truth, you create your own relative truth. And you put a name on it, a label on it, and then you attract people and they become believers and then they pass it to their generation and generation and generation. Imagine what will happen after 20 generations. It's going to be something completely different from what it was in the beginning. So that's what we are all dealing with right now. It's in every way. It's in family, it's in business, in education, it's in government, it's in politics, it's in the church. It's in the church, it's everywhere. So as
Yeah.
leaders, we have to have that innate wisdom of the truth and bring the world together
I think
and
if
bring people.
somebody is really, really religious and they're
Mhm,
using that religion as an excuse for abuse or an excuse
mhm.
to put down or discriminate against LGBT people. Like there's a lot of religious parents who kick their children out and their children are on the streets and some of their children die because they have no parents supporting them and they're young. They're 13, 14. They find out the kid's gay and they kick them out for being gay or
Yeah.
trans or LGBTQIQ2S. And to that, I would say there's a story in the Bible where Jesus walks into the temple and there's a bunch of people who are selling animals for sacrifice. And they're just like squeezing every cent out of these poor widows and just like scamming.
Yes.
They're just scamming everybody. Do you know this story?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
do you
That's so.
remember what
Yeah.
Jesus did with the whip?
Yeah. You whip
He's
them
like,
up.
get out, get out of my father's temple,
Yes.
get out of here.
Yes.
And that is who I think of when I hear about people who use the Bible as a way of preaching hate, and they quote those stupid lines in the Bible that are full of hate that probably came from Constantine. Those people, if Jesus was alive today, he would be, get out of my church. You're
Oh well.
you're
Yeah.
scamming people. Anybody who's teaching hate and saying that that's in the name of a loving God, pff, what a scam. What a scam. And
Yeah.
Jesus would be like, get out of here. He
I
never
never. I
said
never know
anything
you. I
homophobic.
didn't
He
tell. I
said,
didn't
love
tell
your
you
neighbor.
that.
He
If
said,
you go
love your
to
neighbor. Hmm?
Yeah, I know that story very well. I mean, if you want
Yeah.
to know more of that, you go and read Matthew chapter 7. You will see how Jesus rebuked these people. He
Yeah.
rebuked them. You
Yeah.
can,
It's like, get out
you
of
can,
here. Don't stop
yes.
scamming everybody. Stop being so hateful. Right. And
He,
it's not, it's this place of worship. It's not supposed to be a place of hate. And
no,
anyone who is teaching hate in the name of a loving God, such a scam, such a
he said
scam.
they've turned
And
into
Jesus
den of thieves,
would be
and
so mad. Yeah. He would drive
yeah,
them out. He would drive those
yeah,
people out. So if anyone has ever heard, put comments below and say, I love LGBTQ people or I like LGBTQ people because you can save lives just with those 5 words. So please like, share, subscribe, click below and put I like LGBTQ people or I love LGBTQ people because that is part of being loving. And if you're following Christ, you need to show love, not hate.